Hey people, welcome to a new live stream. Let's settle down the music a little bit. How are you guys doing? Can you guys hear me? We're currently on the new Windows 11 Ryzen 5900X. Completely rebuilt system, install, everything's new. So let's hope it works. I have no clue. So, Johnny just came in. Evening. And, Philip is here. And Andy is here. Emil Bart is here. So when it crashes, Windows 11. I don't know. Maybe. Or it's the system. I mean, could have done something wrong there. Morten Boulder. Let's see. Phil Bulldog. Cool. Good afternoon. Good evening. Hello from Almere, says Ron Verburg. The tropical island of the Netherlands. Cool. No, we cannot hear you talking about the new Ryzen. Well, I've actually had this system for a little while, but before I kind of repurposed it to do some Chia plotting, and now it's been purposed for its original purpose, and that is to be my new garage live streaming system. I now also have like a triple monitor setup with old monitors I had anyway. And yeah, let's see how it behaves. We're currently at 5% CPU usage and I'm streaming in 4K. Or rather, I thought I was. But YouTube is telling me that I can only stream in 1440p. So I'm a bit confused about that because I believe I did so before. And you have those slowdown settings when you're streaming. And I'm on the middle one, and I thought that one supported 4K, but I guess it doesn't? I don't know. What, all my LEDs show blue to celebrate the blue screen? No, they're on a random cycle. So they're starting to turn purple. They're very slowly cycling. Hello from Amsterdam. So audio's good, and visuals are good. I hope. 1440p here. Right. Well, at least I'm still recording in 4K, but then again, I don't re-upload it. So, don't know. I'll have to figure that out some other time. Could maybe film some stuff later. Yeah, Joey, I read your comment. It was interesting. I don't know. These are just normal diffusers, I guess. But we're mainly going to test if the height of the diffuser makes a big difference or not. I think it will, but we're going to see. All good. Thanks, Philip. Let's give it a little bit of time. One of the annoying things about Windows 11, the clock in your system tray is only on your primary monitor. Why? I have the bar on all my monitors with all functionality except for the clock. Stupid. So now I have to look over there what time it is. No issues with Ryzen and Windows 11. So I did a full base install, so no upgrade. and there were some official performance issues. Now, with a 5900X, you're not going to have that much performance issues, I think. But today I installed the Windows patch and the newest chipset drivers, which both contain fixes for that. So I should be up to full speed, and yeah. So far it's been pretty good. It's been running for about a week. So yeah. Did I focus my camera? I don't know. I can refocus my camera. There we go. So how are you all doing on your Friday evening watching me? I guess, but I read somewhere that someone created a tool to basically edit Windows to put it on all the screens. So, it's just stupid. Lost the signal. Well, I hope we don't lose the signal, because then probably my PC crashed. Oh, you're going to the bar. Well, I guess your COVID restrictions have been relieved then. Work is slow. Okay, crazy box. Well, let's give it a few minutes. Get people to come in. Today we have Coke Zero, sugar-free, cherry edition. Huh? Yeah. Should be good. Just landed back here in Denmark from a nice trip to the Efteling in Amsterdam. You just went to the Efteling in Amsterdam? Damn. I'm at 4040p. Yeah, for some, it's telling me also that my resolution is wrong and that I should be in 1440p, but I thought the middle streaming option would allow 4K. And I don't want to drop down to the longest delay streaming option, because that would add a pretty long delay that I don't want. So I guess we're stuck with 1440p. Even though I have this fully new rig and everything's 4K, YouTube says no. Oh well. No restrictions here, and surprisingly not a raise in infections. Yeah, I don't believe the infections in the Netherlands are doing that well. I'm not going to look it up, but it's not horrible over here, but it's not doing too well either. And we're definitely heading into the cold season right now, so let's see what happens, eh? Oh, Andy, girlfriend is out, so it's time for Quindor. Hey, I have cider. Nice. Hey, Quinn, we talked shortly about lenses to make the strip throw longer on Discord. Ah, okay, cool. I remember that. The same light designer told me to get 10-degree variant for wall washing. And the same designer told me to use twice the distance between the LEDs as the height from the LED to the diffuser. Twice the distance. What? What does that mean? The same designer told me to use 2 times the distance between the LEDs as the height from the LED diffuser. Okay. Well, we're going to be using a simple 60 LEDs per meter LED strip today. I think we're going to go with SK6812 just because I have some scrap pieces of that. And I think the long one would be about the same as the distance between the LEDs. But we'll see. We'll see. Ah, right. So if there's 1 centimeter between the LEDs, the depth of the channel should be 2 centimeters. Cool. Hey, Dustin Watts is here. Nice. YouTube VR. What? No, I don't want YouTube VR. Oh, Timbo says, I watched your buck converter using 24-volt feed video. I didn't see if you had the 24-volt PSU have the same number of amps that 5-volt pixels need. Well, in that video, I was using a 500-watt power supply. So that's 20 amps at 24 volt. So like 80 amps at 5 volt, that was never going to be a problem. But it does linearly translate. You just have to take some efficiency loss into account during all the conversions. But yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, Johnny says the same thing. So yeah, volts time ampere amps is, so 5 volt at 4 amps is 20 watts, which isn't even 1 amp at 24 volts. Yeah. My diffuser additive has the best effect at about 20 to 25 centimeters from a single LED. Then you almost can't see the strip anymore. Well, that's exactly my point for this whole live stream and what we're going to do. I have a 8mm, a 13mm, and a 20mm high aluminium bars. But now we're getting into the subject, but I guess it's time, so let's do so. So I got some new profiles in. They came yesterday. They're kind of scuffed up, but that's okay. They came in a very nice box, and I didn't unpack anything except the box it came in. So the way it's right now is like literally how it was in the box from the Chinas, and I have all these profiles listed in the video description below. So let's start with unpacking these. So this is now suddenly a Quin box. Well, not really, but you know. Okay, have to get all the stuff out. So these are some end caps or something like that. Let's see if I can cut it. Nope. Oh wait, okay. There was a baggie here, but I don't think the baggie survived. Yeah, I think I cut the baggie. Okay, well, whatever. Some mounting clips and some end caps. Looks like for the short height profile, basically. Well, we need to unpack everything, right? Maybe I should use scissors. Maybe. Just maybe. Oh, there it is. Okay, some more end caps and mounting brackets. And these look to be for the higher ones. Pasting boards and then missing components. That sucks big time. Yeah, that is true. Who had that? Currently, if you're ordering anything from China, there are massive shipping delays, especially with DHL. DHL doesn't have near enough planes to get everything out. I've had packages stuck at the airport for like days and days. So yeah, that kind of sucks because I'm getting questions from people about shipping times, and yeah, normally they're like 2 weeks, but if they get stuck at an airport, it can easily suddenly be a week longer. So it's very hard to judge right now because everyone's trying to get their stuff out. Now we're going to do 60 LEDs per meter for all of them, just to see what the difference is. So I've got some mounting plugs and stuff like that here. I always think it's nice to include it, but I'd always use my own stuff if I'm honest. But oh no. Let's get these off first. It's not really packaged in a way that you can easily get it out, but that's okay, I guess. Managed to keep one bag alive. Great score. Okay, so first off, there's a bunch of diffusers and profiles, I think. Oh no, it's all even more taped together. Chinese and their tape. They just, I think they get like packaging tape and wrap like literally by the boatload every day, because I can't imagine the amount of volume of packaging stuff they. Oh no, my whole desk is going to be filled with aluminium shavings. Well, I'm just going to put it down here for now. I think the Chinese think that if they ship something without it fully being encased in tape, that it won't arrive. I don't know. Tape is their way of, making a box. Pink LEDs. Hey, I got you some pink LEDs, Johnny. I'm assuming you saw the pink LEDs, Johnny? Hope so. I bought them especially for you, for the pink LED fund. Oh no, there's metal shavings everywhere. Wait. Oops. I accidentally hit a button and it was on a full chat screen. Sorry about that. Oh, okay. Good you saw it. Okay, I'm just getting it out of the packaging material right now. If you're doing this yourself, be prepared for metal shavings. Let me get this off my desk real quick. Try to, please. Okay. Oh no. It's a wasteland. Right. So this needs to go back in the bag. I'm going to use that. Don't let dust water. If it oxidizes, it's highly flammable. What? Refill for the pink LED fund. SEKS rules. Thanks, Johnny. Yeah, so people often ask me how they can get a better diffused LED because they don't want to see the individual LEDs, and often they lean towards getting a diffuser that basically is more opaque, and while that can help, I think the clue is in getting more distance, and that's exactly what we're going to try today. So I need to move this camera a little bit. Yep, there we go. So let's take this one. That is the shallow height, as you can see. Let's put it like that. These are all the shallow height, I think. Because then we have this one. Oh, don't put it in there. Okay, I'm not sure if that's the high height. Oh yeah, that's the middle height. And then we have this one, which is the longest length, right? So short height, middle height, long height. Okay, let me get some of this stuff out of the way. Reactor carrot neon orange. What? Do you have a photo of your new rig? I actually do, but I need to look it up and see if I can show you guys. Hold on. Let me get a diffuser, I guess, for all of these too, before I put everything away. Because I don't know which diffuser goes on where. This seems to fit perfectly. I'm thinking that goes there. Sorry if this is boring. We're gonna be soldering LED strips too. Okay, I think I have a diffuser for all of them. So let's get this out of the way. Right. Okay, I'm just gonna wipe the desk real quick. Hold on. Okay, that's a bit better. Right. Missed my super chat. Oh, sorry, Andy. What did you say? Go away, Johnny. You got your stuff. It's neon orange LED now. Also, hi, chat. Neon orange. I know, I got it. Jeez, I was unpacking, you know, aluminium profiles. It's really exciting. So, I'm not sure how well the height distance shows up on camera. Well, not at all like this. Fine. So, we're going to be putting the same LED strip in each of them. And, okay, let's remove these. And then seeing the difference in regards to diffusion, basically. That's the whole idea. And I actually have a secret to share at the end of the stream, which is pretty exciting. Where did I put it? I know it's here somewhere. Right, okay, it's here. But it's for later in the stream. So the next thing to do is make LED strips in these things. And as I said, I've selected SK6812 because I have some scrap pieces of that, but it shouldn't really matter if it's SK6812 or normal WS2812B or something like that. Except that, of course, you get RGBW with SK6812. Let me try and get rid of all these shavings. Okay. Film grade light filters. What? What are you guys talking about? Okay, so we have the profile bars here. Let's figure out the LED stuff, I guess. Let's see how much I have of this. Hey, so far we haven't crashed yet. That's a good thing. Right, so this has the arrow pointing the wrong way. So I'm going to have to solder it anyway. But let's see what else we have, because I have more of this. And this is also SK6812, I believe. But it's white instead of black. And I don't have enough of the black stuff. So let's see if I have enough of the white stuff so we don't have a difference there. Because that also makes a difference, especially in individual color definition and stuff like that. White versus black background, basically. Right. Oh, I use this one with a power injection in the middle. Interesting. But then I snip off the beginning, right? Okay. Well, let's unwind that. I think we're going to go with the white stuff because I have enough of that. Let's get it off the spool. So there was a question before the live stream even started about how to hide the injection wires in the profile. Well, since these are flat profiles, there is no hidden section available, basically. So on these, you couldn't hide it in the profile, you just have to run it along the profile somewhere around or close to it. Or in the vague vicinity, at least. Right, so we're going to use this white stuff, so the black stuff can go back. What? Don't start rickrolling people, Johnny. That's abusing your power. So, who of you all is currently doing LED projects? I mean, Halloween is pretty fast approaching, and after that we're going to have Christmas. So those are typically the LED seasons of the year. So who's doing projects? Okay, let's see here. This is the end. You saved that for the unexpected maker streams. Good. You're doing a smart mirror project with addressable warm white LEDs. Oh, okay. Are they addressable LEDs themselves, or are you using WWA, for instance, or what kind of LEDs are you using? Because it's a mirror, so the coloring rendering index can be important. So let's see here if I have enough of this stuff. I would think so. Yeah. Sure. Well, then I guess I'll have to start cutting. Too late for Halloween, but I'm doing 25 projects for Christmas. What the? Holy. 16 strips on a Teensy 4.1. Oh, okay. Nice. So let's see here. If I measure this to be about here, so I have a bit of length to put the cable knot in, basically. I then cut it off on this side so it doesn't exit the profile. And there we go. Okay, that is ready for soldering. We're just going to create 3 1-meter bars, basically. To compare. Because, well, I wonder about the difference myself. Okay. Let's do that about the same. Right. And that comes down to, I think, over here. Oh, there's a power injection here, but I don't really want to bother with it, so I'm just going to cut it up like I'm cutting up the rest of the strip anyway. Yep. Okay. Measuring the length for the last bar. Sure, that should do. It's a bit short, but it's okay. Right, I'm just going to reuse this cable too. We're not looking at 45-degree diffusers today because I'm mainly interested in the effect for the distance. And it doesn't really matter if it's a 45-degree or a, I guess, 90-degree for that matter. We're just doing 8mm height, 13mm height, and 20mm height to see what kind of different effect that gives on the LED strip. Now, I think I'm going to take these out of the bars again to solder them up, basically. And then once they're soldered and working, we'll glue them into the bars. Doesn't that sound like the smart way to do it? Are you amazed already? Okay, that's good. What about flexible aluminium? I've not used that before. Okay. This music sounds weird. going on with the music? Sounds weird. I don't know. Okay. No, don't glue them first. No, I'm not going to glue them first. So if I want to divide this, oh, damn it, divide this cable in 3 sections, how would I do that? Interesting. Well, I guess I could do it like that. Nope. Right. Sorry if this is all not that visible on camera, but this should do it. Okay. Can you have 3 channels acting as one long channel on the Dig-Quad for some scenarios and have them as 3 individual channels for the next? Yes, that is no problem at all. Because internally in WLED, it is one big channel and you use segments to divide those up. So if you create a profile which has the segments in there, they will be divided and doing their own effects. And if you create a profile that has just one big segment, then it'll be one long strip basically. So yeah. Pixel Therapy put a strip in his toilet a while ago. It was glorious. It was glorious. Why is it not glorious anymore? Okay, I need to get my act together here to do this stuff because otherwise it's going to take years. We're just soldering 3 LED strips and we're going to use the favorite color. We're going to be using pink data wires because we can. Oh. Oh, the girlfriend didn't like it. Well, did you have disco mode permanently? I mean, what didn't she like about it? Did it look like a you know, the lighting for like to not get any drug addicts? That would have been bad. Yeah, that's what I was referring to earlier, Johnny. You caught on to that. Is that addressable LEDs generally don't have a good CRI. So using them with anywhere where some kind of color rendering can be of importance, like a mirror, or having good visual clarity even, digital LEDs wouldn't be my first choice because, well, they just don't have great CRI. When are the QuinLED-Dig-Quad pre-builds being available? Damn supply chain. Well, we're working our asses off currently to... Come on! How much for orange wires? Hi, chat. I don't have orange wires. The only choice I have is pink or green. And, well, Johnny already stashed the pink LED fund, so he's getting pink wires. But Dig-Quad, yeah, we've run out in US and in worldwide currently. Maybe worldwide still has 1 or 2 left with an acrylic case, but I'm not sure. We are producing more right now, a lot more. And we hope to have those available somewhere at the middle of November, both in worldwide and at Dr. Z's for US locally. That also includes the data boosters, which Dr. Z's has run out of, but worldwide there's plenty of those. And Dig-Uno we've also almost run out of. I know US has run out, and worldwide I'm not sure what the current status is, but there can't be many left either. So we're working on making all of those, but we're having trouble getting components. My buck converters, which I use on the boards to do all the auto DC stuff and things like that, those have 12 folded in price. So first we were buying them for like 17-16 cents, and they are now $2.15 each. So that sucks. And I heard last week that during these new orders, the level shifters, for instance, those have 5 folded in price. So where they were a few cents before, I'm now paying a few bucks a board. And there's some other components which are either very hard to get, or they're also triple, quadrupled in price and stuff like that. So I'm afraid, and I really don't want to do this, I've been holding off and basically nibbling at my own margins. But at some point I just can't make the boards anymore, or I have to raise the prices. And I'm thinking about maybe raising the prices with like $2 a board, something like that. Because also the ESP32 is becoming a problem. We're getting 10-12 weeks of lead time, and Espresso just can't deliver. It's a mess right now. Can you pre-order? We might open pre-orders in worldwide, and for Dr. Z's you can be put in the mailing list so that you get mailed when he has new boards available. As said, there should be plenty again in November, but yeah, pricing wise, I'm afraid I'll have to raise the prices a little bit, because otherwise I'm making boards and paying them myself basically. There wasn't a huge margin to begin with, and I didn't mind giving up some, but yeah, I can't pay for selling them. I can't go that far. I really hate that. But yeah. Anyway, new boards somewhere in November, and currently the biggest issue is getting enough ESP32s actually, because the rest of the components we've been able to source, be it with higher prices and stuff like that. But yeah, we're working our asses off on getting that done. Right, let's start this LED factory here. Oh wait, I just need tape. I need tape. Do we have tape? What? Where's my tape? Did I use my tape and not put it back? Bad Quindor. Shouldn't do that. Hold on. Not here. Oh, here it is. I didn't. I got it. Yeah, worldwide still have data boosters. We should have enough. Dig-Unos, I don't think we'll have a lot left, but we have some. So if you need them quickly, I'd order them from worldwide. Otherwise, we'll be restocking in November, also for Dr. Z's and stuff like that, and in larger numbers, basically. Yeah, everyone's buying ESP32s because I'm already very glad I didn't have any projects based on STM, for instance, because those have just gone the way of the dodo, basically. But ESP32s are getting pretty hard too. Yes, those are SK6812s, but you will get a zoomed in view. That's maximum zoom. Let's do it like that. There we go. And we're going to solder some wires to that. Should I put the heat shrink on? I guess I could do the heat shrink over the wires. On the other hand, I think I have it here. Well, is this the right one? Yes, that is the right type, I think. Yeah. Well, okay. I'll put the heat shrink on now. So I'm going to be generous with the amount of heat shrink so we can cover it all. Because this is transparent heat shrink anyway, so we can just cover a few LEDs and that's no problem at all. Yeah, there's supply chain problems all over the place, and not even just chips, but even as somebody was saying, don't remember who, but even the raw substrate and the raw materials and stuff like that is in short supply. So it's a shit show, and I'm glad I have good contacts in China. So I'm not bound by LCSC or other bigger name suppliers, basically. I can get it from multiple places. Because otherwise it would have already been impossible to build the stuff I do. But yeah, it's not looking good. And it'll probably even get worse before it gets better. And I'm thinking it'll be worse until at least second half of 2022. Yeah, but we're gonna cover these anyway. I don't really care, Emil. Sorry. Right, so let's strip the cables. And because we're doing the solder pads, we only need to strip off a tiny little bit. Just enough to make a connection. Having too much on this side is actually non-beneficial, because it'll just stick out basically. Shit shows the right word, yeah. I have some links in my equipment article, which is linked in the description, but these in specific are this type. I'll leave them there for a second. So the Knipex 1242195, made in Germany. But I have alternatives, which I also use and have linked in the description in my equipment article, which are basically just as good, in my opinion. So. Yeah, get yourself a pair of cable strippers. It makes life so much easier, and your nails and your teeth survive so much longer. Okay, of course I did it all over the place. Okay, that's done. Let's get my soldering iron. Oh, hello. What's going on? Kind of a mess here, but we'll work with it. And let's get my solder fume sucker. And the nice thing about this iron is, well, you can't see me. Oh, you can't see me taking the tip out. So the tip is now 25 degrees, and I take it out. 100, 200, 300, 350. It's done. I love it. It's that new iron I showed a while back during a Quinboxed. And yeah, I really like it. So let's tin these pads real quick. I need to get the okay. Something like that. Okay, that went pretty well. And now we're going to tin the wires, or the wire ends basically. And then you just have to join all the tin together instead of trying to melt it all together without tin there, because that just doesn't work. So, okay, I need to hope the fan doesn't bother you too much. Sorry, I'll try to do it on screen. You just want to melt a little bit of tin into the wires, that's it. So let me do all the sets real quick. No, I don't want to trim the tidy ends, or the untidy ends, because it doesn't matter in the end. Oh. That's another set. Can you use the data booster to combine 5V and 12V LED strip if I hook up a 5V to the injection points? Yes and no. You can, as long as you then don't connect the 12V positive side. So if you make sure there's no connection between the positives, only the negative sides, I guess you could. Trying to do this on camera, but the camera view currently is very narrow, shallow, something like that. Okay, that was the last set, I think. Yep. So now we do the LED strip itself. So what I generally do is I take the data wire, which is normally the middle, and I do that one first. And since it's both tinned, it just flows together. That's the whole idea. Now watch positive and negative, but this one clearly says 5V and ground. So we take our positive. Oh. I was trying this without twisting the wire for once. I'm starting to wonder if I made a mistake there. It doesn't want to join. I guess that's okay, but I'll add some solder in a little bit. Not really too happy with those connections, so I'm going to add a little bit of solder. Yeah, and then the problem is they lift off. Hold on. I need to get something that stops my hand from scorching off. So let's do it like that. I use this to hold on the wire. There we go, that's a much better connection. Let's do that for this one too. I need a bit more solder on this one. Come on, I'm making a mess of it. See, I try skipping steps, but I really shouldn't. There. That should be good. Yep. Okay, so in my opinion, if you're soldering wires to an LED strip, twist the wires before you pre-tin them, because that seems to be easier to make a connection. Okay, that's good. Sure, that's good too. Nice. Take it. And last one. Oops. Sure. That looks good. Okay, let's get this out of the way. And now you guys can hear me again, or was the noise not too bad? Right, what's chat saying? Did BitLooney fail to fix the fail notifier? Oh, I didn't see that stream. If I bought a Dig-Uno with Ethernet, can I run the Dig-Uno via Wi-Fi long-term without Ethernet? Asking since the Ethernet version is the only one available at Dr. Z's currently. I don't actually know. I didn't test that in theory, but if you really intend to run it long-term, maybe you should pull the Ethernet hat off, because I don't know what that will do hardware-wise if it's not enabled and used, basically, because I didn't test it. And we had one case where it stopped working after a few days, so I'm just not sure. Yeah. Right, well, I can see better on camera, actually. This looks decent enough, I'd say. All connections are sturdy. This one's a little bit close together, but be okay. So I guess we should test it. That's always the wise thing to do. So let's get a Dig-Uno. and an ESP. Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's flash this ESP first, because I don't know what's on here. Can I show you guys? I don't know. Let me get a new window. Just 1 second. Right. So to flash it, we just connect it to USB. I have already installed the drivers, so that's an important thing. Let's try the beta version, and let's install it. See if that works. Nope. Might have to hold the button on this ESP, so let me try that. Nope. Did I pick one of my testing ESPs that I broke? I'm not sure. Oh, cancel. Let's see. Error. Might need a different ESP. Oh, there we go. Okay. I had to hold the button for some reason. That's fine. Sure, SK6812 should fit in neon tubing as any other LED strip. I don't have any links for smoked or black diffusers, but I believe Andy, one of my Discord mods, experimented with those, so maybe he might. So the data boosters are they're multifunction, Martin. In the digitally addressable LED section on my website, you can see which functions they're good for, basically. So I suggest going there and reading those articles. That's generally the fastest way. Hey, Unexpected Maker is here. Hey, Sion. Well, SK6812 will basically last the same as a WS2812B. And if they're protected from the environments, they should do okay. So let's get this thing flashed. And I need to see if I have a tool here, which I'm going to need. I don't. Okay. We're going to go facecam for a little bit because I need to prepare something. Because I need to know which IP it gets. And for that, I need the tool for my router. Right, okay, got the tool. Okay, let me join that WLED instance to my network. That's okay, Sion, you're not late. We're still busy. We're testing diffusers and then 8mm, 13mm, and 2cm height to see what kind of difference that makes in regards to how the LEDs look and how diffused they are. So I'm just preparing the LED strips right now, and I just soldered them up. So now I'm going to test them to see if I did a good job or not. Andy, someone was asking for smoked or dark color diffusers, and I believe you had some experience with that recently. Let's see, I should have an IP here. Or not. I got a new IP for some reason. There we go. Okay. So now we have a running... Nope. Right. We have a running WLED instance, which we can use to configure it further. But we're going to do some testing first, and if we see that the first 30 LEDs light up, that's fine. So let's wire this up. So we can disconnect that. Oh, I need to finish this end of the wire. Let's do this the proper way and put some ferrules on here. I've actually never used tinted diffusers before. Do you have a tip for lighting outside above the barbecue? Must be able to see food well plus film. If you look on Quinled.info, in the analog section, digital LEDs are not suitable for that. Look for the suggested LED strip that I have, and then look in the premium section for color diode or for Oxmer. Those are excellent LED strips for that purpose. And they also have very high brightness output, up to 2,000, 2,500 lumens per meter. So those would be perfect for that purpose. But you'll need an analog controller for those, not a digital one. So you need something that does PWM basically. And I have some DIY boards for that. I do not have a pre-assembled board for that right now, but that is in the works. So I'm just putting ferrules on these cables, just you know, do it correctly. And if you're crimping, you should see a tiny little bit of the wire sticking out once it's crimped. Then you have a good crimp. Mr. Barbecue LEDs with high CRI, but specifically, yeah, with a good R9 value. Yeah, the Oxmer and color diode stuff I've tested myself using my spectrometer. Those are perfect in that regard. Why doesn't it want to go into the ferrule? Okay, that's one set done. It's so funny they put these the little droplet sounds in music. I don't know why they do that, but Timbo says I've embedded some walk-over aluminium profile around the slabs of a step on my patio. The slabs are black porcelain, so black smoke diffusers would be a better match. Sure. The channel came with white. Ooh, yeah, I can imagine that not looking great. Ah, cool. I also have my analog boards at home. Sure, then those will be a perfect match with the CRI 95s of the two brands I just mentioned. And, well, my film lighting is from... I use only their strips, and my film lighting is a mix of the color diode stuff and the Oxmer stuff. So... And I'm not even being well lit right now because I don't have them turned up very high, but yeah. One! Says Sion. One ferrule left. Can you share a link where you get the red-black wire? Check the video description and there's a link to my equipment and tools page, and the exact supplier of these wires is on there. We actually recently tested those during a live stream, and that's all silicone, silicone type wire, but you can find those there. Okay, now we have these with ferrules. Let's hook it up and see how well they do, or how well I did my soldering job, basically. Nope, don't wire it up the wrong way. Okay, I need to do a little trick. Where's my tool? I seem to have misplaced everything. Oh no. Oh, well, I can use another tool. To get these to go into the terminals a little bit easier, I often take the ferrule and I squish them a little bit, because then they go in a whole lot easier. Okay. Right. So that's the first one. Okay. Then I'll need a power supply. Let me get a 5-volt power supply from somewhere. There we go. No. Hey, so far the new streaming computer is doing well. I don't think we're having dropped frames, even though I'm streaming in 4K, except YouTube isn't accepting it, but that's fine. This cable needs to come out. Okay. Let's remove my tools. Okay, let's hook up the power wires. Always note where the positive and negative goes. Otherwise you're just blowing up fuses and, well... Right. Let's see here. Should be good. Should be good. Should be good. Let's plug this in. We have red going into positive here. We have red going into positive on the power supply. And then you can always know positive stays on the same side of the board basically. So positive goes in here and positive goes out here. Same with the negative. Looks good. So let's power it on and see if it explodes. Oh, no explosions. And actually we have some LEDs. But if you can tell, they're actually the wrong color. Now, does anyone in chat... It's like school now. Does anyone in the classroom know why these LEDs are the wrong colors? We haven't changed any WLED settings, so we should be getting 30 orange LEDs, but we're not. Why? Why is that? I know, but... See? WLED set to orange? Ah, well, Philip knows. Yeah, okay. So you go to Config, LED Preferences, and here, well, this is a drop-down, you can't see it, but we change it from WS28... 281X, I know, to SK6812, and while not changing anything else, there we go. Now they're orange. So, because SK6812 RGBW has 4 addressable values instead of 3, that's why you get the color shift. Now let's make a few more changes, because if we're currently looking, we have a part of the strip lighting up, but not all of it. So let's go to 45 LEDs. Okay, that lit up more. Let's go to 55 LEDs. In theory, it's almost a meter. Yeah, so it's almost a meter. So we need 1, 2, 3 LEDs extra. But I'm just going to put it on 60. And I'm going to disable the brightness limiter because we don't need that right now. Save. No? Uh-oh. Did I short it out on the board? I wasn't paying attention. Something is not working. Let me try rebooting it. I might have accidentally touched the pad to a pin on the board. That's not good. Oh, still booting. Why can't I get in? Ah, there we go. Okay. Phew. I think I might have just shorted it a little bit, but rebooting saved it. So, okay, so we can play with the brightness. That's good, and we can do all kinds of color stuff. Nice, and we can do effects. Let's do, I don't know. Right, looks good. Cool. Strip 1 works. Hey, Maiko's here. No failure with smoke. No, since this is all 5 volt, it wasn't too big of a problem that I touched something. If it would have been 12 volt, that might have been a different story. Okay, so this one works. So we can heat shrink that one later. Yeah. LED 1. I'm not even going to bother screwing these down. There we go. Let's see if they turn orange. And they do! Great success. Okay. Okay, last one, and then we'll heat shrink them, we'll glue them down into a strip, and then we can finally do what this video is about. But I kind of like hanging out with you guys too, so I could have prepared all of this, I could have just made a video about it, but hey, it's more fun this way. Okay. Nice! Third strip also works. Okay. So let's move this out of the way a little bit. So the last step in preparing the strips is to do the heat shrinking. Philip, is there a pink wire fund? Is there a magic smoke fund? The magic smoke fund is my bank account. I don't know about the pink wire fund. I think Johnny Bergdahl has that covered. Right. Let me turn on the power supply for my hot air station. If I can reach it. I think I did. Okay. Let's see what temperature it's set to. It's way too high. Okay. Let's wait for it to heat up a little bit. Error chrome, top right. What? Error in chrome. Okay. Yeah, we're getting to the results, Flytrap. Jan Schietnia? Flytrap, okay. Oh, I guess that's your nickname. How many LEDs a meter do you need to hide them in 20 millimeters? Yeah, I don't know. This is all 60 LEDs per meter, so we're going to see. So let's heat shrink that. I can move it a little bit more above the cable. What soldering station do I use? Well, I keep repeating myself, but if you check in the equipment and tools page, you'll see the exact model of soldering station I am using right now, or hot air station basically, because I have a separate soldering station and a separate hot air station. And it's just the El Cheapo China thingy, but so far it's worked pretty well for me. That's the nice thing of using silicone cables. When I'm heat shrinking, I don't have to pay too well of an attention, because I know I'm not going to burn the cables anyway. What? There's only 18 likes? How does that even happen? Thanks, Sion. I think there's a lot of people lurking because they just want to know the results. That's fine. That's okay. So the heat shrink is also listed on the tools and equipment page. And I believe this is 9 millimeters, but they measure that when it's round. So when you squish it down, it's actually a bit wider, so you can easily slide it over a 10 or 12 millimeter strip. And since this is clear, you don't really have to pay too much attention or not if you actually shrink an LED with it, or heat shrink an LED with it. Although last time I think we actually killed an LED doing this, so let's see how it happens this time. Any new QuinLED boards in the works? There is lots of stuff in the works, to be honest. And there's one thing I will be sharing with you guys later, which is a new prototype I built last week, or this week? This week, I think. No, I don't know. I don't know anymore. Which will be a sort of extension board for the current QuinLED boards to add some additional functionality. But more about that at the end of the stream. And of course there's the Dig-to-Go that's still in the works. We're trying to get that out, but it's a lot of roadblocks. So I turned my station down to 160 degrees Celsius. It's taking a little bit longer, but I'm hoping I don't kill the LEDs like this. And I'm hoping those aren't touching right now, but we'll see. Right, that should be it. Let's see here. Dig-to-Go, yeah, that's another prototype I'm working on, or rather, that's the work on that is finished, but we're stuck on some other processes, such as getting a case made for it and stuff like that. It'll be a little USB-C powered board to drive digitally addressable LEDs. There was more about that a few live streams back, but it's a lot of work to get that out outside of the technical aspect too. So, right. Let's glue this into the profiles first, and then hook it up. Oh, thanks for sharing, Changchung LEDs. Changchung LEDs. That's a nice nickname. Right. So let's get the backing off. When peeling back the tape, always make sure that the sticky side remains on the LED strip. You can feel that with your finger, of course. Because that is also the insulator for the metal pads on the back. If the tape remains sticky, you're removing too much. Right, so if I measured it correctly, and I'm going to try and glue it in the middle, and I'm going to do that for all the LED strips basically, to see if that gives us the best diffusion, because they're not all the same width. Or something that is roughly in the middle. Try and get it as flat as possible. Cool. Okay, and well, then it looks a little bit like this. So that's one done. Thought of not removing the tape at all. Well, you should, because then there is also a tape insulating layer there, and the idea is that the LEDs or the strip can sink away or soak away some of its heat to the LED bar or the aluminium bar to basically spread it out so that it can dissipate a bit easier. So leaving the tape on, I'm not sure I'd do that. If you want to use something else to stick it down, that's fine. But it has dual purpose. One purpose is to stick it down, and the other purpose is to cool the LEDs, basically. Now, digital LEDs, they don't need that much, especially if you're not going to be running RGB white, so red, green, and blue at 100%. Analog LEDs you'll definitely kill if you don't stick them in an aluminium profile. Digital LEDs can survive for a while. It's better to do it, but it's okay not to do it. Like the ones at the back, at the back here, those are just stuck to the wall. But then again, those I generally don't run above 30%. So it's all about heat. Oh, that didn't go right. Okay. It should be good. So this is the 13mm bar, and then the last one. Waiting for your Dig-Uno to arrive tomorrow. Nice. Yeah, Dale, you should pay a little bit of attention how long you keep the hot air on the heat shrink, but I had it toned down in temperature a little bit to try and not kill it, but we'll see if that works in a minute. So somewhere over here. Trying to get it in the middle, but since this profile is 2 centimeters high, it's actually harder to reach the LEDs. Okay, almost there. It's not perfect, but it's pretty decent. Alright, so just glued it down in there. Okay. Now let's get them side by side and let's turn them on all at the same time. I have to see if I can jam enough wires into here. I guess I should have used a quad instead of an Uno. Come on. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to jam enough wires in here. What was I thinking? Right, we'll just change controllers. So now we want to hook up 3 bars at the same time, which we can't. Or not easily. I used to have I need to use external blocks and stuff. So we're going to upsize the controller from a Dig-Uno, which is basically this middle part, to a Dig-Quad, which will give us a lot more ports for the power and stuff like that. The 50/50 LEDs are suited for high temp and humidity. I'm going to add a second feed wire to the power supply so that I know we're not going to get any voltage drop on that side at least. Well, 50/50 LEDs is just a very generic package size. It'll depend on what's inside of the package mostly. As I said, addressable LEDs are generally a little bit more efficient than analog LEDs, although it does depend on the power output they're configured for. In regards to heat, yeah, I don't know. I guess you should look up the data sheet. I know that's a very generic answer, but I don't know if any LED type that is better or worse suited for higher temperatures, basically. Okay, so now we have our Dig-Quad, and we hooked it up with 2 wires from the power supply for both positive and negative to make sure we're not getting voltage drop. This is 15 gauge, I believe, so that should be fine. So now we can just hook up all of these. And I'm going to try and jam them in the same data terminal, which is probably not going to be a success, but we'll see. Okay, I got a second one in there. That's good. Oh, I make such a big mess on my desk. I'm glad it's mostly out of frame. Okay, let's put that one in. Put that one in, and then let's see if we can somehow squeeze this in here, even just a little bit. Oh, I think it went in a little bit. It just needs to make contact. It's only data. There we go. Because I want all the strips to do the same because, well, we're testing the same thing but with different heights. Ah, it's for a sauna. Yeah. I don't know. You're looking at IP67 or 68 then anyway. So heat sinking isn't really a thing because it's encased in silicone sleeving and or even epoxy. I don't know. I just try it. I just get some cheap stuff, SK6812 or WS2812B and see how long it lasts, basically. No, I could have used 3 data pins, sure, but if I can jam it into one. Okay, this is a prototype board, but I think it should be fully functioning for this. Let's turn it on, see if it explodes. Shouldn't. Oh, great success! Okay, so now we have 3 bars, which each... Let me zoom it out a little bit more. Nope. Nope. Okay, we have 3 bars which each have 60 LEDs per meter, SK6812. And well, looking at it like this, and if we do like an effect, let's do rainbow or something like that. And can I... So yeah, doing the rainbow effect, we can see the different colors. And I guess I should adjust my camera a little bit to make it better visible for you guys. Let's see here. Right, so that way you can see it a little bit better. And now we're just going to add the diffuser and see what happens. I think this is the one for the 20mm height. Oh wow, that is, I don't see any individual LEDs anymore. I'll try and adjust the camera in a minute to show you guys a little bit better. It's always a BITCH to get these in. So once you get it started, you should be able to get it. Okay, clink. Right, so that is the 20mm one done. With the diffuser on top, and I'll adjust the camera in a minute. Because for me, as it looks like, I can't see any individual LED anymore. No, they're not at full brightness right now. They're a bit lower. So I think this is the one for the 13mm version. Oh, that goes in a lot easier. Nice. Okay. Huh. That is actually pretty good. But even on camera, you can see that you can see a little bit more spots than on this one, right? Okay, let's try and get this one in. But here, even the cable is almost sticking out. Uh-oh. Okay. Let me try and get this done. Which I'm having a hard time with. Why does it fall into the profile? Oh, that's tight. Okay. Almost there. Okay, that's in. But at least this one still has a little bit of foil on top of it, which we of course should remove. See that? So this one has foil on it. I'll check the other ones. But I think the difference is pretty apparent. I don't think there's any foil on this one or this one. No, it's not in completely. Okay. So let's see if I can up the brightness. The colors look kind of washed out on camera, but they're not in reality. So let me see if I can change some settings to fix that. I guess I should align them better. Right. Okay. Well, that is pretty obvious with this effect, right? Yes, Emil, that is certainly correct. With more LEDs per meter, you can do with less diffusion, but at some point you're just too close to the LEDs, by which it doesn't have enough spread, basically, to forego the individual nature. Let's do Pride 2015. Yeah, I messed with the shutter time. Let me fix the shutter time real quick. Hold on. Yeah, now the PWM should be better because I fixed the shutter times to 1/60th instead of 250th. So this is a good effect. This is only lighting each other one, as you can see on this one. This is called Railway. Well, on this one it's very visible. On this one it's kind of visible. And on this one, especially if it's fully lit, almost looks like a solid bar. Let's see, this is rainbow again. Random colors, yeah. It's not looking great. Ripple. Ripple rainbow, no. Running. Well, you can very much see the difference in effect, but also kind of the difference in brightness. The one with the diffuser that is closer to the LEDs visually looks a lot brighter than the one that is further away, so more light energy is basically getting lost. So 8 millimeters, 13 millimeters, and 20 millimeters. Because the LEDs are at their full power. So let's go solid, and let's do solid red. And we're drawing 15 watts, is that correct? Yeah, the brightness limiter is off. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, it should be good. Yeah, so let's do blue, green, and white. 50 watts with white. That looks correct. So, in reality, what I am seeing, because, you know, the eyes are a camera too, is more akin to this. Even at full brightness, I see very clear definition of the LEDs on the 8mm one. Then I see somewhat definition on the 13mm one. And this one with the 20mm height, I see no individual LED definition at all. It's just one perfect bar. Yeah, same for colors. This one is a perfectly diffused bar. 13mm, I see the LEDs a little bit, and then 8mm, I see them very clearly. Yeah, with this brightness, and it's set very low, you guys see almost the same thing as I'm seeing. Well, it depends on what effect you're looking for. So let's do bouncing balls. That's interesting. If you're truly trying to get rid of the individual LED effect, sure, maybe the 20mm one is the one you're looking for, because the LED has more space to basically shine upward and disperse before hitting the diffuser. So then it's basically a wider blob on the diffuser and it blends together easier. Or you could maybe do the 13mm one and then use 144 LEDs per meter. Since they're spaced closer together, they don't need as much dispersion height. And then it'll probably look like a solid bar for that length. And, well, for this one, I don't know if you'd ever achieve it, because the diffuser is just so close to the LEDs, basically. Would it be possible to glue it on the sides of the 13mm version? Right, I don't know. Looking at it, you have this ridge here. So let's get a little bit of LED strip. And no. So this SK6812, if I push it down on the bottom, it hits the ridge. So it's not high enough on the 13mm version, because you don't actually have 10mm inside of it. Yeah, hiding 22 gauge in the channel, it's possible if you're running your LEDs at very low currents, or settings basically. If you want to run anything near 100%, that's not going to do. So let's turn up brightness a little bit. Or let's go to half. And the middle one's pretty good already, but what it maybe doesn't show up that well in camera, it does a little bit, is this one is markedly more bright than this one, because we're just losing light basically. But if you want a perfectly diffused bar, LED density, so 60 LEDs or 140 LEDs per meter, is a factor, but another factor is LED distance to the diffuser, because this one in real life just looks perfectly blended together, so the 20mm one, and even the 13mm one doesn't. But maybe if you'd go 144 LEDs per meter, for most effects it would be good. Yeah, it's hard to say in comparison. It's a good 34 to 40% less bright, I'd say. So it is a good amount, because you're losing light energy basically. Well, yes and no. This doesn't look very bright. They are very bright while looking directly at them, but even this one is probably dimming them 20%. And let's say this one is dimming them 30%, and this one is dimming them 40%. That's a lot of light you're losing. This is full power. And, well, I can show you on my face cam. On there it looks pretty bright, but in reality it's not that insanely stupid bright. Sure, and more LEDs per meter will also give you more brightness. That is absolutely true. But it's good to know that if you want perfect diffusion, yeah, 20 millimeters will do it. I can't see an individual LED at all, even at 100% brightness. And with this one, the 13 millimeter one, it kind of like on camera, I can see a faint glow of them individually. And then on this one, well, we can clearly see them. Yes, this is full brightness. No limiter, nothing. 12 volt and 24 volt are, if we're talking addressable, they don't differ too much in regards to light output. If we're talking analog LEDs can get a lot brighter. I don't know the prices from head, Jaco, but the ones I bought and linked, those are the exact ones I've linked. I thought they were pretty decent for the value, and they included FedEx shipping and stuff like that, so yeah. Yeah, this effect also clearly shows the difference in diffusion. Perfectly smooth on the 20. Little bit of LEDs visible on the 13, but not bad at all. And the 8 just, well, you can clearly see the individual LEDs. Which light strength your client require? This is not for a client. This is for infotainment. Yes, let's call it infotainment what I do. And let's crack open this cherry zero sugar here. Kampai. Even though it's Coke. You want a Coke can for comparison? Maybe you can even see the distance it throws. I guess not. This one. Right, let me see if I can make enough room on my desk here. Here you can, I guess, see the comparison between the light output a little bit. This one is throwing it much further than this one is, for instance. Or especially if we compare these two. You can clearly see that the 8mm one is throwing the light much further than the 20mm one. So light is getting lost somewhere. Right? Yeah. So that's kind of the issue. The more diffusion you add, the more light output you lose. And you'll get a nicer looking diffused bar, but in other areas you'll have less bright LEDs. Well, I'm not going for anything. I basically bought these profiles to show you guys when doing LED projects what the difference is. Yeah, it's basically a trade-off between solid strip and CD LEDs, but more light output into your room. So what are you trying to do here? Are you trying to light a wall and like wall washing upwards, for instance, with the LEDs not visible? Well, maybe leave the diffuser off or use a very shallow one. Or are you trying to have LEDs you'll be looking directly into? Well, then this 20mm bar might be a lot nicer than seeing all the individual LEDs. No, I really didn't have a project with this in mind, except showing you guys. Because there's a lot of misconceptions about what type of aluminium profile and diffuser to get. So even for an effect like this, and this is at full brightness, I mean, it's not that bright anymore. Well, we've been going 2 hours, but I have to see if we could do the 13mm one, but then with 144 LED per meter strip. Would that be interesting? Because then we'd maybe offset the individual LEDs here instead of having to go to the 20mm one. Although what I think will happen is you'll still be able to see the individual LEDs because we can see the individual LEDs on here. That doesn't really change if you add more LEDs. You'll still be able to see the individual LED. Just like here, if you look at it like this, now the LEDs aren't moving very fast. You could add more steps here, but the LED still wouldn't spread wider like it does here, blending them together. And it does, of course, if you have more of them, but the hot spot will stay the same. I have Cobb digital RGB LED strips, yeah. We use that in the Heartlight, for instance. But that's a bit expensive. So, even if we add a 13mm one with 144 LEDs, I think we'll still see the individual LEDs. I think that won't really change. Let me see if I have a strip that I can just hook up. Hold on. Okay, I think I might have found some. Not 100% sure. One moment. Well, this isn't it. Well, this looks pretty good, but this is 12 volt. What is it? WS2815 12 volt. I guess we could have used that. It's my testing strip, but I'll use it. Oh no. Right, whatever. In what way, Philip? What are you looking for? Because it's already perfectly blended. The only thing it might do is give you more light output, basically. Oh no. Ugh, this glue. It's amazing. But I don't want it to stick yet. So let me just stick this down real quick. Don't think I'll ever get it off again, but that's okay. Okay, so this is 12 volt stuff. So I'll have to make a little adjustments. Right, let's turn this off. Oh, I can't run it at the same time because I did 12 volt. Well, I could use a Dig-Uno. Hold on, let me think. Do I have a 4-wire connector here? No. But I do have one here. But it's for the wrong side. That doesn't match up. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, Dig-Uno. There we go. Now I always have to pay attention because these wires, red turns into blue and white turns into black, and what's going on? But we can do it. I don't know which is primary and which is backup. Seems green is primary. Okay. Right. Now I need an ESP32. Can use another one. My desk is becoming even more of a mess. Let me install WLED on here too. Yeah, these color changes aren't ideal. Okay, Okay, let me get a 12-volt power supply. It's connected to another board. Okay, let's turn this off. It's at 85% of writing. Trying to arrange this so you guys can see it. Yeah, should be good. Okay, it's done writing, so let me join it to my network. Right, let me check what IP it's getting. Okay. Well, let me put it on the board. There we go. I always have to watch out because I have all kinds of prototype and different versions and I don't know what lying around. Okay. I think we're good. Red, blue. Let's do it. Okay. Sure. That looks good. Which IP is it getting? Is it 113? Yes, it is. Okay, let me set that brightness limiter off. 144 LEDs. I think there is a bug in the beta 4 of WLED 0.13 because I did the exact same thing and it froze again. But it's back now. Okay. So that works. So now let's add a diffuser. Oh, this one has tape on it. Does it? Don't know if it has tape on it. I think so. It does have tape on it. Ah. But that means the one that's on there also still has some tape on it. So let me get that off. Okay. Then let's also get it off the one that's on there. Does this have tape on it? I guess it could. Nah, this doesn't have tape on it. The other one did. I don't know. Right, let's put the diffuser on. hold on. Almost have it. Yep. Okay. Right. So here's the two 13mm ones and the 20. Okay, let's power it on. And let's hope everything gets the same IP. So the lower one is the this is actually WS2815, and this is still SK6812. I guess we should lower them to the same brightness. Oh. Hold on, let me... Okay, sure. Sure, that's pretty evident, isn't it? So, WS2815 versus SK6812, 60 LEDs per meter in a 13mm profile, and 144 LEDs per meter in a 13mm profile. Same diffusers, same everything, including removing the tape. Yeah. And this orange actually looks very different. Let me up the brightness a little bit more. Let's go full power. Wow. Oh, I didn't expect that. The WS2815 is actually brighter than... Of course, no, wait. There is almost... No, there's more than double the amount of LEDs in there. So it's logical that it would be brighter because, well, it has double the amount of LEDs in there. Sure, Philip. We can talk about that. I wouldn't even know how to ship those things. So let's do red. So I can't say for sure if this LED strip has a higher light output than the others because there's twice the amount of LEDs. So there should be more light, right? So let's do blue. Oh, I think actually some of the LEDs in there are filled. Not sure. No, blue. Let's go green. Okay, let's do color twinkles. That's an interesting effect. Color twinkles. Nope. Right. Okay. So that looks pretty well diffused, even in real life. I can't I can... It's not... I can identify an individual LED, but not the package itself, like you can on this one, but more so that it's less spread out than on the 20mm one, basically. Yeah, sure that the color is actually different. Well, it is a different LED, so... Yeah. Oh. My LED strip actually seems broken. This part of the bar... I'm trying to show you. This part of the bar isn't working. Oops. That's what I get for getting a random piece of LED strip from my drawer. I never know what's happened to them. I did configure it correctly, right? Yeah, 144. But okay, well, doesn't matter for the video. No, actually, in real life, I'd say the colors for the 144 look better than for the SK6812. Yeah, that's not a good effect. Pacifica is a good effect. So they're both at full output. Let's just put them together. No, the LEDs on Well, let me set the SK6812. Let's turn off the dedicated white LED. So let's do that with none. No, I like the colors of the WS2815 a lot better. Yeah, 13 millimeters with 144 LEDs per meter. That looks great. The blends really well together, and it's plenty bright. Or, well, they're all at the... There's more LEDs, so it's brighter, but I can't really see the hot spots very well. There might be some a little bit. For instance, I think this one is stuck. I don't know. Is it? Let me check. Yeah, this LED is stuck. This LED strip, it might have been a reason why it was a test strip. Let me take the power off. Okay. And let's turn it on. Yeah, so half of the strip still isn't working. Okay, let's take power off completely. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, no. And the last half of the LED strip now is just random colors. So that strip was broken. Okay, sure. Let's set a last effect. There we go. Right. So this is the palette effect. And, well, you can clearly see that the diffusion on this one and this one isn't too great. But if we compare these two... Well, except for the LED strip failing, I couldn't really tell it apart. Wow, there's more LEDs that now failed. Look at that. That's just broken AF. Is it actually... Yeah, that's not working. Let me try one thing. Come on. Trying to squeeze too many cables into the same terminal here. Okay, let's see. It's still only lighting up part of the strip. Oh well. Yeah. LEDs are broken, and that's WS2815 with a backup data path. Still broken. Yeah. I mean, this LED is dead. That one certainly isn't doing what it should be doing. And then further down the line, there's just nothing. Here it just dies. So, yeah, test your LED strips before you put them in your profile, because this one is heavily borked. Oh, now it's working. What? I don't know what's going on here. Now, 2/3 of the bar is working. Somewhat working. I don't know. Whatever. Right. So, I think that does answer a lot of questions in regards to LED profiles, and density doesn't solve everything. Density and distance, though, can solve a lot of things. 13 millimeters with 144 LEDs per meter look great, and is a lot brighter than 60 LEDs and 20 millimeter, and the diffusion looks about the same. So, yeah. What do you guys think? The bar is starting to flicker now. What the actual... I don't know. Yeah, if you ask me what I like best, it's the 144 LEDs per meter in the 13 millimeter profile. For sure. It looks brighter. It looks pretty good. It looks very well diffused, even at full... It's not at full brightness, but... even at full brightness, it looks great. Colors look excellent. And, yeah, so if you'd ask me what would you do for a well-diffused LED strip, if you can go that far, I'd go 144 LEDs per meter. Power injection will become more of a problem and stuff like that, but certainly, yes. Percussive maintenance, yeah. Well, Chris, there might be something in the secret or a teaser we're going to do, since we're now at the end of the live stream, that might... It's starting to flicker and do weird stuff. Tried the percussive maintenance. Let's see what it does. Anyway, there might actually be something there, because I've been working on something, and I'll call it the QuinLED ESP32 AE+. And if we zoom in on that, and we ignore the flickering LED strip. So this is a first prototype. A second prototype version is already on its way for me to build, to test. And what this is, well, the text kind of gives it away. It has a micro SD card slot. Okay. It has 3x outputs, so that means it has 3 additional data channel outputs here on top. So if you put this on a Dig-Uno, or a Dig-Quad for that matter, the Dig-Uno has 5 data channels, and the Dig-Quad now has 8 data channels. And then it has IR, so if you look over here, there's a little IR receiver over there you can use with one of those really cheap infrared remotes. And then it has MIC. What's an MIC? Well, that is a microphone. So it has a little hole, although on this prototype it's actually filled in. But it has a digital microphone chip, you can see it here, on the back of it. And it listens through the PCB on the top to do audio reactive WLED. And on the newest prototype that is currently on its way, it actually has a touch button right here on the top. Still needs to be tested, prototype. This is all a prototype. Which you could use as a button. So, for instance, I will be offering multiple versions of this top board, basically. It'll always come with the external antenna ESP32, because this shield will basically block Wi-Fi, and it uses the same pins or the same layout of a Ethernet version, basically, but then it adds other features using those pins. That's basically the idea. So if you're, for instance, running the ESP Pixel Stick firmware, you could use the SD card slot and the extra outputs to have an 8-channel controller which reads its sequences right from the SD card, so then you don't need Ethernet, you'll have great Wi-Fi reception, and you can use a central master to trigger all the shows that are stored on the SD card. Or if you're running WLED and you want audio reactive and you'd like an infrared remote, well, then you can use those. And currently there's no software which can use all options at the same time, but I'm thinking of making 3 versions of this shield. IR plus microphone, that's a version. SD card plus output channels, that's a version. And then one Uber version, which basically just has all the features. As I said, there's no software that exists that can use that right now, but maybe there is in the future, or you'd rather have the options depending on what you're going to use. There are no plans to do an Ethernet version of this, because this uses the same pins as the Ethernet board does. Because I'm not using Ethernet, those are available, so I can make a different top hat as the same structure basically as the Ethernet board. As you can see here, it's the same idea. So there's no way to do those things together with Ethernet. Yes, maybe some features and then also affect other features on the board, but this will work on all current Dig-Uno and Dig-Quads, the pre-assembled, and in the future the DIY once I change the pinouts, as they are. So you can just buy this new ESP32 variant, because we'll be selling it as a kit with the ESP32 included. Because again, you need an ESP32 with the long pins soldered on there. So if you have a normal one, you don't have those long pins. So we basically sell them with the ESP32 included. And this has, well, all those features on the board. So yeah, that is something I'm working on. I'm not sure when this will be released. It could actually be 2022 before we're able to source enough supply and get everything worked out in regards to manufacturing and stuff like that. But this way you can add a lot more options to your Dig-Uno or Dig-Quad than was possible before. Like SD cards, digital microphone, extra output channels, infrared, a touch button. Yeah. So that's the secret for this stream. And it's actually a pretty big one because I've been working on it and I've been really excited. So that's kind of why I'm sharing it now. But I think it'll open up a lot of options for people using the current QuinLED boards if they want to add one or more of these features. So let's see what chat says. Yeah, the relay output is the secret 5th channel on the current Dig-Quad. Because it's just a level shifted output, just like the other level shifted outputs. So it's a perfect data channel. But if you use it for a relay, well, then it's a 4-channel board. But then if you add this little guy, it's a 7-channel board. And one of the things I'm going to do, the normal boards include 249R resistors, like we recently learned in my videos, how the resistors affect the data signals over wires. This board will have 33R resistors as standard. So if you're running 3-wire cable with ground close to data, this won't be affected as much by that as the normal board would. So let's see chat. I don't know if the ESP will handle 4800 LEDs, not at 60 or higher FPS. But at 40 FPS, it should be able to do about 2 or 3,000. But it will also depend on the firmware you're running. Those calculations are for WLED and ESP pixel stick firmware, which the beta works fine already on the board with the extra channels and the micro SD card slot. That might be able to pump it out faster. I don't know yet. So, yeah, any questions about this little board? Anyone excited about this little board? I am. Do you think with the SD card you could put Tune.to-Info on it? What is Tune.to-Info? See, Johannes, can I run 900 LEDs, 3 times 5 meter 60 LEDs per meter, SK6812, all strung together on one Dig-Uno? Yeah, you can do that on one channel, but you'll see some frame rate drop to about 30-35 frames per second. Or you can use 2 output channels, and then there's no issue. When do we get the beta version? Where is the link to get them? There is no such things. This is very much a first prototype. This is the only one in existence right now. And version 0, release 5 is already in the mail. So, sure, Joey. See ya. Yeah, the SD card slot in combination with pixel stick firmware and then using FPP, or what is it? Falcon Player, whatever. As a master and slave nodes, where the slaves all have the sequences saved to the SD card, that opens up a whole different structure of running your shows, basically. So, especially together with the extra outputs, I think that'd be a very nice alternative to doing it versus with Ethernet, for instance. Because then the real-time information doesn't have to travel over Wi-Fi anymore. It's just a syncing clock that travels over Wi-Fi, and that's it. Cool, Michael sees a lot of possibilities. Can't wait. How do I use 2 data channels then? Well, on the Dig-Uno, there is 2 data channels. So you can just configure those in WLED. So you have LED 1. I can't really show you with the current light. LED 1 and LED 2. And those are both data channels you can use. And internally, it'll act like one big strip. Right, let's start moving towards rounding off. Oh, that was a fun stream. Because I had some good ideas about the diffusion and stuff like that. Cleaning up some mess here. But I didn't know for sure. So that's why I kind of wanted to test it. But that worked out pretty good. Adding more height does definitely help with the diffusion, and 144 LEDs per meter plus 13 millimeters seems to be the sweet spot. So yeah, 3-hour stream. We're at 2 hours and 40 minutes. Any link for... Yes, the channels are all linked in the video description. Cool, Dale. I'm glad you learned some stuff. That was basically the whole point of even buying this stuff, to test it and show it. Sure, Tiska, no problem. Yes, that's the idea, Martin. Can we DIY new board or ESP32 boards? No. Those have way too intricate components, 04, 02 and smaller. And I don't share those designs either, so you can't DIY those. I will still make updates for the Dig-Quad and the Dig-Uno upcoming somewhere at the end of the year, I think, to update those designs to align with some features in the pre-assembled currently. Very good Engels! Oh yeah! Yes, the AN Penta will first be released as a DIY version, and then I'll work on a pre-assembled version later, although that could actually become next year, because it's basically almost a complete redesign. But yeah, I wanted to bring out a DIY board again, so yeah. How far from the controller can the beginning of the 900 LED be? Strip be? Check the article on my website. So if we take a look here, QuinLED.info, digitally addressable LEDs, and there's an article called "What is the maximum length data wire?" And there you can see testing in regards to data wires and different lengths and stuff like that. And then if you still have issues or you use 3-wire cable where ground is close to the wire, there's a whole article about data signal conditioning and stuff like that. Sure, Bogdan. Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, you could build that yourself, maybe, Emil, but I don't have the time to do that, basically. Yeah, Discord is a great place to discuss all kinds of stuff. Oh, Michael Hoffman, thank you for everything you do. Thank you for the donation. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. And as I said, I hope it was helpful. It was for me to learn new stuff, so hey. Is there a Discord chat dedicated to stupid long runs around the house? Well, it gets discussed a lot in the Intermittent Technology Discord. I believe the link is in the description. So, yeah, come over there. I still use KiCat, and that is still free. Well, I donate to it, but in theory it's free. Right, so let's see. It's 47, 3 more minutes, and then I'm calling it. No problem, Sebastian. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Any HA progress? I've been working on some stuff behind the scenes. Also non-LED related. You know, it has to come forward sometime. But not yet. Chris Russell, thank you very much for the $10 donation. That is awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed it too. Sure, Bart. Looking forward to it. Cool. I'm glad everyone enjoyed it. I wasn't sure about this, soldering some LED strips and then putting them in bars and seeing how it looks, but I'm glad a lot of people thought it was as interesting as I thought it would be. So, just trying to get the real information out there, not the marketing fluff that everything looks great. It doesn't. Yeah, Discord can be somewhat overwhelming because the information comes by pretty quickly, basically, but it's good to discuss stuff. I did see Sion's logo. It was awesome. His video, How to Make It, came out today. And I believe he's even designing a little LED controller shield for his Tiny Pico and Tiny Pico S2. Cool. We just want to hang out, and the live stream usually a lot of things gets discussed. Makes it more interesting. That's true. That's true. So what type of LED strip would you choose for the 13mm profile? Well, if you're not stuck on RGBW, the 144 WS2815 looked excellent. Right. I think that's going to be it for today. I thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you guys back on a next video in the comments on the Discord server, or maybe in the next video. We'll see. See ya. Bye-bye. Okay, I have to return slightly, just on the edge. Bogdan Kostant, thank you very much for the 50 Ron. I don't know what a Ron is, but I thank you anyway. Bye. Bye.
Think I need